I don't remember what video this is, but it'll be on the description. Over the years, I've developed a really good bedtime routine that really helps me fall asleep fast. I've often dealt with like a really busy mind where I just don't fall asleep, or I wake up during the night and I'm awake for hours. So I've incorporated a number of things into my routine that helps me sleep better overall. So number one, try to finish my eating and especially drinking at least a couple hours at least before I go to bed. The digestion process can keep me awake. There's been a lot of studies on that, and the drinking water part of it, drinking tea, whatever. I try to drink very little of it by the time the evening comes, as it can just go right through, especially if I drink it fast. If I drink it fast, it'll go through really fast. So I have smaller amounts and I sip it slowly. I try to drink as much as I can earlier in the day, and then try to finish like my last like big pot of tea or whatever I'm having by like 5-6 o'clock, something like that. Another thing I do that's really, really important is I journal. I write down all my thoughts, emotions, anything that's been on my mind, anything that might be bugging me. I'll just take some time when I crawl into bed to just write them down. It's just, for me, it's as simple as paper and a clipboard. I do nothing fancy because I want to just write freely and not get caught up in, oh no, what am I going to write in this very pretty notebook? So I keep it really simple. Like, it's like a dollar store clipboard, and like pads of like the regular lined paper only cost a few cents. So yeah, that's no problem. And then keeping things really dark, really, really dark. So I've got blackout shades, and I've got, I actually put socks over top of my phone and over top of my speaker when it's running. So I listen to singing bowls at night. Sometimes I find other sleep music or sounds to listen to. And I don't like to wear headphones at night. It's just uncomfortable if I roll onto them. So I use a Bluetooth speaker, and I just stick it up here, connect my phone, and I cover it in a sock. So the little bit of light doesn't draw my eyes. The less that my eyes have to see at night, the easier it is to forget about seeing things and go to sleep. So yeah, this goes into a sock, so the light is completely covered. The phone will also go into a sock for the same reason. And I have a heated blanket, an electric blanket. I've literally put it under the sheet on the bed so it doesn't move and it stays put, and I turn it on in advance before I get into bed because I get really cold. I get really, really cold at night. So my bed has to be warm, especially first thing. Once I'm in it for a while, it's okay. But there's also a light that comes from the cord when I turn it on. So again, for removing that visual distraction, I cover that with a sock. So yeah, all of that gets covered up. And something I've tried recently is sleeping with a weighted blanket. It's pretty good for the most part. Sleeping with a woolen comforter is better. The temperature feels nicer. It's really breathable, and it's just effortlessly cozy and comfortable. And the feel of the wool comforter just knocks me out. So yeah, if you can get a wool comforter, that's the best, because the temperature regulation is amazing. There's winter weights and there's full weights and there's summer weights. So you can kind of pick what works for you. And yeah, there's a number of options out there. You'll have to do a bit of shopping. But yeah, this weighted blanket this is the fuzzy polyester cover on top. It's glass beads, like a glass bead fill. Most weighted blankets are. And it's good in most temperatures except when it gets very, very cold. And I mean like -10 and colder Celsius outside. So once it gets to that temperature, the glass beads they don't keep me so warm, even with the minky cover. It tends to feel cool on top of my body, and which could be great if you're a hot sleeper during the winter, but for me, not so much. This would be probably really nice during the summer when I put the lighter cover on it. And but yeah, I find that it's not as good for temperature regulation. And however, the great benefit of it is that the weight. This is a 25 pounder. I got a really heavy one. There's lighter ones like 15 pound, and you can get them in a number of different sizes. This is it's a 25-pound queen size. Queen only means it only means like the size of the blanket. It is not an actual queen size blanket. Just like a twin and a king or a full size weighted blanket is not going to be the size of the queen, king, whatever comforter. It's going to be smaller, and it's going to be whatever fits your body, like your length. So you got to just take some measurements and figure that out. The weight is very nice. The weight is very, very nice. At first it was kind of weird. It kind of feels like having one of those lead x-ray blankets being put on you. But after a bit, I got used to it. I got used to it pretty quick. It just took a few days. Like you want to move around initially, but because of the weight, it discourages you from moving around. So it takes more effort. You have to think about moving around. And so because that ends up taking more effort, we automatically start to choose the easier route. So when you're falling asleep, there's no visual distractions. And if there's no movement distractions, or there's less movement distractions, you're not going to move around as much. So it actually works pretty well in that regard. And it's pretty cozy. But I'd still argue that wool is cozier. Eventually I'll get myself a nice full-size wool comforter, because me and my partner need to sleep with separate quilts because we both are blanket hogs. So that's just kind of the way it goes. But yeah, that's my basic tools and my basic sleep tools that I use for a really good night's sleep. I've recently started trying out a sleep monitor app. It's literally called Sleep Monitor. There's a number of others, and almost all of them you gotta pay for, and I'm just using the free version of it just to try it out. I really don't need anything more at this point, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to see what my sleep cycles look like and how long I dream for and that sort of thing. It just sits on the table nearby, and the biometrics pick up everything that it needs to pick up to give me that graph of data in the morning. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, that's my sleep toolkit. That's what works for me. So if any of this helps you, that is fantastic. As for sleep music, SleepTube, there's a YouTube channel called SleepTube. That one's pretty good. I don't use it very much, but it's alright. And the one I use most is Sleeping Vibrations with the singing bowls. I really like that one. That one's my favorite. That's the one I listen to the most. And there are a number of others, like Inner Lotus has my favorite sleep music, but I find I'm less into music and more so into sound. during the night. So that's a thing. I hope some of this might help you in your sleeping journey, because we all do a lot of it. And have a great night.